All right, we are safe. We are safe. All right, we are safe. We are safe. And we're out of here. We are safe. Honestly, I just don't know where to begin with this movie. Avengers Infinity War is directed by the Russo brothers, and it tells the story of the Avengers having to deal with this new threat named Thanos who wants to bring balance into the universe. The best way to describe this movie in the easiest way possible is a roller coaster that really doesn't give you the time to breathe at first. It does give you time to breathe later on, but majority of the time you are on a nosedive throughout the whole time. And I mean that from the very first scene. It just seemed like this movie did not want to hold back any punches. What's crazy about these MCU movies is that the Russo brothers have directed 3 movies: Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Infinity War. Winter Soldier is obviously just about Captain America, and Civil War has all the characters that you see normally in these MCU movies, and Infinity War having everybody. And it seems like these Russo brothers movies have the best moments for each character. For example, I think this is the best tracks that we've seen within the MCU. I would say this movie finally gave a very complex version of Chris Pratt's Star-Lord that we've never seen before. Gamora and the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy also just brought different things that we haven't seen from them that I thought were the best we've ever seen from them. Ragnarok originally had the best Thor moment, but this movie basically says, yeah, not anymore. Take that away from any of the people who acted throughout this movie. Acting also comes from directing. The Russo brothers they're just one of the best. Like, I don't know an easier way to say that. They're just one of the best. This movie's directed beautifully. I don't really need to go into detail about the directing. You know, we've already seen it in the past Winter Soldier and Civil War, so we just know what they bring to the table. But the things that were just outstanding in this movie were, one, I'll start with the script. There's a point in this movie that there's almost 5 different storylines going on at once. From the end of the first act to about majority of the second act, there's 4 storylines that are going on simultaneously, and there's not one thing you can take out of any of those 4 storylines, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of complaints from people, and they'll say, you know, some of these storylines aren't as interesting as some of the others, but that just makes sense because people are going through different things, people are going through different journeys, but every single one of those storylines were necessary to move the story forward. Nothing was ever convenient. Nothing was ever, oh my god, can we move on? Can we go back to this? It was more like, where's that going? Okay, that's going, and at the end of this movie, it all intertwines. And there's actually a point in this movie that there's never all the storylines come together. At the end of this movie, there's still 2 storylines going on at once. Like, it's really crazy. There's not one moment to where everybody's together. There's still divided attention in different places. So that's the great way that they were able to keep the story alive and keep the directors trying to keep us back into the story, and the writers keeping it all just intriguing. Like, oh, the movie's amazing. The story's amazing. The way the movie ends, obviously, if you see any of the memes, the ending of this movie is just, it is what it is, you know. At this point, it really just is what it is. Like, it's just what you knew was gonna happen, but the way that they did it and the fact that they did do it was just, it's just a marvel, pun intended. But easily the best thing about this movie, look, we all know what it is. It's Thanos. Like, I'm speechless. So where we see a lot of villains who have motivations that are valid, you know, you're like, okay, I can agree with that, you know, I can get behind that. I just don't like the way you're doing it. Thanos is like, I don't see anything wrong in what he's doing necessarily, in the fact that what he's doing is very relevant to what's going on Earth right now, and maybe it just isn't the safest way, but just like he says in the movie, he just has the will to do it, you know? It gets to a point to where he has no anger in his heart. He has no malice whatsoever towards anything. Like, if he does not need to hurt you, he will not. And that was my problem with Killmonger in Black Panther. I feel like there was so much anger in his heart that kind of distracts you away from what his message was. It felt like he was more angry, and he was more of a villain, less of an antagonist, which I feel like Thanos is way more of an antagonist and less of a villain. He's just an opposition to the protagonists, which are the Avengers, instead of just being a villain, instead of just being this device to bring everybody together and just being angry. He was just an opposition. He was in the way of what the protagonists are in favor of. Thanos is easily one of the best villains you've ever seen. In my opinion, he's my second favorite villain I've ever witnessed. Like, I'm speechless. Like, oh my god, like, look, he's amazing. That's all I can say. And a big complaint I have about action movies in general is that a lot of the henchmen are always trash. Like, they always get beat up, like, easily. Especially in Bright. We're not even gonna talk about that. But the henchmen in this movie, all 4 of them are amazing. Like, you know, they all hold their own. They all have their place, you know, and it's just great that we could finally see henchmen who aren't just less than faces and they actually mean something, you know. I just think it's great how Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers and everybody who works on these Marvel movies, the writers, that they can put all these people into this movie and it can feel genuine and never feel like people are being shoved in there. Like, everybody has their place throughout this whole story. Now, for my butt towards this movie, you know, I always give a flaw of any sort of movie, but I don't really think it's a flaw or negative. I just feel like I understand where it's coming from, and there's a convenience in this movie that needs to be there to push the story forward, to where if it was in one of the previous movies for, like, you know, even a quick second, it would feel more genuine and not less rushed as it could come off throughout this movie. But then if it was in the movie for 20 to 30 seconds, will that just automatically make it so much better, to where I understand it does kind of feel rushed, and when you put this anywhere, I don't think it's big enough of a reason for me to give it a score less than what I'm about to give it. Look, all in all, I really can't talk about this movie without spoiling it. Hopefully I do get a spoiler video out. This is my second favorite superhero movie of all time. Thanos is literally second in villains to me. This movie's second in almost everything except my favorite movies, you know, other than The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight's just, you know, The Dark Knight. I really just think this movie's damn near flawless. I am gonna give Avengers Infinity War 2018's first 10. Look, I'm not even gonna give any excuses about where the videos have been. I'm just gonna say I will explain everything in the family gathering that's to come. I just know I need to talk about this movie because it's just been on my mind for so long, and I've seen it twice. I want to see it 5 times. Black Panther has my record of paying for a movie 4 times. I want to break that by watching this 5 times. I just really love this movie. I'll talk to you guys later. I do want to review a lot of movies. I've seen Tully and You Were Never Really There, and these have been 2 movies that really affected me greatly, and I really loved them. So hopefully I'll get up on here and talk to you guys about that. I need to catch up on all the fan film club movies. I miss talking to people and, you know, the comments I get back. So I'll try to get back to you guys on that, okay? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.